This workbench is terrible and it's stressing me out.
And this is how we start the video.
Right guys, welcome to the YouTube channel. This video, we are finally getting into the S14. We have an absolute jam-packed video. We want to get a lot done on the S14. We pretty much want to turn it from what you can see right here into a running, functioning, painted drift car. We have a fresh angle kit all laid out here. Before I actually sold this car to James, I initially started to part it out. I sold the angle kit off it, but then obviously me and James worked out the deal where he's brought the car and I'm still able to use it for Drift South. What we have here, essentially the same angle kit I was running last season. We have stock S14 knuckles that are cut and shut, where the tie rod mounts to has been lowered and moved inward. One of the differences with this angle kit compared to what I ran last year is these caster arms, as you can see, now have a gusset in them. These brackets are notorious for a lot of flex at angle. Lower control arms, these have been extended, I think 30 mil. The other thing is we also have a gusset in the bottom here, once again just for strength. We got A32 tie rods, they're a little bit longer, and these are something that I initially didn't have on this car when I first built it, but halfway through last season I actually broke a tie rod end, so I went to these and I didn't really notice too much of a change, but I don't necessarily think we had them set up properly. Last season we had just custom made caster arms, but this season we've got some Harkon units. When we pulled all of the angle kit apart a few months ago, one of the hubs actually fell apart. So we have brand new S14 hubs. Tonight we are going to be throwing all of the stuff into the S14. And then tomorrow night we are going to be putting the engine and gearbox in this after we give this thing a water blast because it is dirty. There's a lot happening in this video. Hope you enjoy it.
Matt, can you actually stand on top of that?
This is why I had to get new hubs, because this one, when we pulled it apart, we could not get the spacer off. We decided, because I was keeping this stuff anyway, that we were just gonna undo this nut, take this off and deal with this at a later date. When we took it off the knuckle, the back part of the bearing was actually still on the knuckle itself. So yeah, we're remedying this now, but as you can just see, we were able to do it. Before anyone puts a comment that we're gonna break this ratchet, we don't care. We have others.
No, it's Barco, mate. You should see the we do with Barco socket. Just this exact ratchet.
Yeah.
God. Oh man, that's a tight boy. Oh.
Yay! Right, it's a new day, and we pretty much got all of the angle kit thrown into the car last night. There's a couple of things that I didn't mention, but the caster arm brackets that were in this car, unfortunately, one of the bolts that holds them in the rail here, the nut inside the rail itself actually had kind of broken and it was sort of spinning around. So I took the car this afternoon, literally 5 seconds that way, in this very complex Jody Thompson. He fixed this up for us, cut this open, welded a nut down in there so we can actually bolt the caster arm brackets back in. So stoked on that. One other thing about the angle kit that I didn't mention at the start of the video that we have is we have brand new ball joints in here, and these are actually GK Tech ball joints, and they are extended 20 mil. And basically what that does is it helps correct the geometry a little bit by spacing the LCA down a little bit. Anyway, car's back. What we are going to be doing tonight is essentially just prepping the shell ready so we can throw the engine and gearbox in it tomorrow. It needs a bath. As you guys can see, that this has had a full season's worth of dirt and grime, and a lot of this dirt actually I'm going to blame Anthony for. Couple other things we've got to do is we've got to take these rear guards off. Unfortunately, when I built this car, I was a mupper and rushed a little bit. I have 2 nut inserts that, so this one here, we're going to have to cut this bolt off because it's cross-threaded and the riv nut insert is cooked. And then on the other side, you can just see that one that's just sticking up there. Cut them both, take these off, and we're going to wheel this out and give it a water blast because it's freaking filthy. So next day on, we are back in the workshop, and last night I attempted to give this S14 a little bit of a clean, and I may as well not have really bothered because it's still filthy. So we're just going to throw this in dirty as, the motor's dirty, it's all going to be dirty, but it's going to be good because it's going to run, and we don't actually have that much time because we have to be taking this thing tomorrow down to Timaru so it can get painted, so at least the outside's going to look good. But this is our fresh gearbox, which we picked up not too long ago. I didn't film us going to Kaikoura when we actually blew the last gearbox, but yeah, if you guys watched the first video back a few weeks ago, did mention that we'd blown it. So we're going to be attaching this to the engine. For those that don't know, this is the motor that came out of this car last season. It is a Series 2 RB25 DET. Internally, it's a stock motor, but we've got a Synco manifold, Garrett turbo, tile 44mm gate, China plenum. Had an adapter sort of welded onto the end of the plenum here so we can run the 70mm throttle body. These usually come with like an 80mm, and I didn't want to run a throttle body that big because I wanted a little bit more throttle control. So that's it. This engine has new timing kit, new water pump. Seems to be pretty good. Did like 13 events last season, didn't skip a beat, and it makes about 400 horsepower on a mainline dyno. It's definitely enough to get down. So we're gonna throw this all back in, and then we're going to fire it up. Oh, this is Anthony's favourite job to do.
Man, I love gold on my face. Done this a couple times now. Swear to God, if you fart.
Go, come to the left. We just noticed that the speed sensor is not there, which obviously doesn't matter because we don't need the speed sensor, but now there's just a big hole in the side of the gearbox, so I'm gonna have to get a plate made up so we can just bolt that there to cover that up, otherwise it's gonna piss the gearbox fluid everywhere. Fun times. Run into a bit of a snafu. Anthony's just realised that this engine mount is cooked. Yeah, like if I can pull that.
Got hot glue it back together. Should be right. There's no other ones lying around here, is there?
No. So we're going to throw a set of these solid mounts that we have lying around here on this. I ideally didn't want to actually solid mount this car because it's creates so much more harsh vibrations and there's no real benefit out of it, and a big downside is it rattles a lot more stuff loose a lot quicker. But we can only find one of the mounts anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to rob a mount out of the Silvia, throw it in this, and we're just going to have to replace the mount in the Silvia at a later date.
Oh, this is a spinner. This is giving me anxiety. This is horrible.
Yeah, this workbench is an absolute state at the moment.
Everything's a state. There's tools everywhere.
I did not say workbench, I mean workshop. The workbenches, all of them. That's a state. This is a state. And even our makeshift one is turning into a bit of a state.
I'm a state.
That new tattoo you've got's a freaking state.
It's a sheep. Don't drink alcohol and then decide to get a tattoo from your mate. Although, I do not regret that. So it's alright.
Yep.
I am making a plate to block off the speed sensor for the gearbox. And there's not a lot of here to make a nice plate, so it's going to be bad.
But it's going to do exactly what we need it to do. Which is stop oil from going everywhere. Ready to throw this engine and gearbox into the car. We've done a few bits and pieces, just going around everything, making sure everything's tight. Things like the oil feed, return, motor mounts.
Manifold bolts.
Yeah, just easy to do all that stuff while the engine's out. Yeah, it's just preventative maintenance really. So yeah, now we're going to throw this in. I've already put the spark plugs in. You guys might have noticed from a little clip before that this engine's actually sat for the last couple of months with no spark plugs in it, which is not ideal. It's not the end of the world, but it's not ideal.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know I was dropping like little metal shavings and stuff in there earlier, so we'll see how it goes. Whoa! Kind of crashed it. Ah, put it. My foot's in the way. I just got violated by the hood pin.
Just needs to go back, doesn't it? Like ever so slightly.
We can get this side in first because it tucks up under that, and then that side should be able to shift.
That's what I mean, it needs to go back to go into that side. You can't go back because of that. Yeah, this is a bit of a pain in the ass to get this motor in this car when the clutch master cylinder is in, because you can see it hits the plenum just at the back there. When it's actually like in position, it's perfect, but yeah, just getting it to go into the subframe.
I think we have to lift that side up a wee bit and drop the side down for it to like sink. Well, I think that's how we did it last time.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking nearly.
Actually, I got an idea. It requires loosening off the top of that mount, but you could loosen off the top of it so you can like sort of like angle the mount in.
There we go. That side's in.
If you lower it, this side will pretty much go in. Hold up.
Oh, that works.
We're in. This is a good important lesson. Don't put your injectors in without grease. I was about to do that, and then Anthony, being the good Samaritan that he is, was like, no, Joel, wait a second. Don't do that. Hold on.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Forgetting something.
Something ain't right. Yeah, well, you never want to go and dry. I like it when I grease your ends. And you also don't need a shit ton of it.
Less is more.
Well, sometimes more is just more. Just generally speaking, more is more. I like to play a game where it's called spread it as much as you can before you get caught. It's like starting the plague. Daddy, oh, get away. Oh, fuck! What? I went on and slipped right off. Can't wait. Yeah, what? You got this. Oh my god. This is the easy one too.
Heating the rubber up might make it a little bit easier to work with, but
yeah, probably would.
Yeah. The camera guy's about to get beat up again.
Yeah. Oh shit, not the hand. The cameraman, Matt, is just our punching bag.
But notice how I made sure I threw it down so I didn't hit the camera.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like replacing a $2,000 lens.
I mean, that camera's like, for what, almost like just buying an RV, like, without the bolt-ons.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the cost.
This is James. This is Guy that has actually purchased this car, and he's just brought us some goodies. So, you know what we got going on here.
That's the indicators.
Indicators. So yeah, this is something that we're doing with this car. Is we're going facelift now, which is going to be sick. It's going to make the car look a lot more aggressive. I like the pre-facelift, but the facelift definitely looks a lot more aggressive.
Man, it was suck the rear end on guys. Must be looking pretty.
After about, I don't know, what's that, 4 months since we last drove or had this car running.
Yeah.
Either way, we're about to fire this thing up. We've been working, slaving away all day, and yeah, we got it to the point now where we're about ready to fire it up. My hand is absolutely on fire. It hurts so much, but we prevailed on, got it done. Like I said, it's all good to go. We're just gonna crank it over, build a bit of oil pressure, and then connect the trigger kit back up and fire this thing up.
You want to turn the power switch?
To the boys! That's pretty much going to wrap it up for tonight. We'll catch you guys in the morning when we are loading this thing up, taking it down to Timaru to finally paint this thing. We've made it to Timaru. You guys have seen this place before. This is Blake's epic graveyard of JDM goodness. So yeah, we brought this car here a while ago. Chase, the man around here, he fixed up our sill after I absolutely stacked it into Jimmy Oaks, which, by the way, next video, channel is changing to stacked. But yeah, brought the car here, and we're going to be leaving it here over the next week, and when we come back to pick it up next weekend, it is all going to be one color and facelifted and looking $1 million compared to what it is now. Currently what we're doing is we've taken these old doors off because inside these, they're completely gutted. There's no windows or window motors or anything like that. So we've got these off my other S14 that I brought off Anthony. They still have the windows and all that stuff in. So we want to run windows on this car. So rather than taking the windows out of these doors and transferring them over, it's just easier to put these doors on and get these ones painted. So we're currently doing that. How good. And we're absolutely butchering these doors some more.
Safety first. Oh, the door's making contact with the cage.
Oh no, it's this.
Yeah.
Unbolted.
the grinder's right there.
Yeah, it's more work to cut that than it is to just fucking... I need a 10.
Exactly, so you gotta walk over there. I could just like...
One of the things that we're going to check out while we're here is Chase's current build. He's hoping to get this done before Fours and Rotors, and I fucking rate this thing. So it's a VN Commodore? VP Commodore, but it's RB25 jet swapped. Top mount China turbo. This will be the ultimate Mang machine. Just bask in this gloriness. It is about a week on from what you guys have just seen, and today we went down to Timaru again and we picked up the S14. It is far from perfect, but I have to give a massive shout out to Chase for getting everything done in a pretty short amount of time. He had a bit of a nightmare having to try and deal with the front guards, trying to get them to line up, with the guards themselves being China fiberglass and the shell being twisted. They didn't fit at all. The front bumper, rear bumper, and the skirt is all fixed up. There is quite a few imperfections here and there, so it's not perfect, but he is going to come back over the next couple of weeks, wet sand a lot of the areas and get it looking a lot better. Currently, again, because it's all Chinese fiberglass and we have Chinese headlights, nothing is fitting exactly how it is going to, and we are running out of daylight. It is probably like 6-7 o'clock on a Sunday, and this video is going up tomorrow night, so we literally have right now to film what we're filming before you guys are watching this. However, again, massive thanks to Chase, because this car looks $1,000,000 compared to what it did last season, and I'm stoked. I can't wait for us to get it fitting better, which we're going to over the next week. Without further ado, here's the S14.
Yeah, I gotta keep it trendy on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go, down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots round my neck. Self-respect, when you out of line, you put yourself in check. They don't hear me, they don't hear me.
That is going to wrap it up for this video. When we started making videos again about 4 weeks ago, I did want to say that I wanted to make the videos more impactful. We literally started this video off with this car as a completely bare shell. It now runs, it drives. There's still a lot of work we need to do before it can go on track. We need to get everything fitting good. We need to get the angle kit aligned, and there's a few other bits and pieces that need to go in. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm so freaking stoked for this season coming. 2 days from now, James has his drift school, so we might get a little bit of footage for that. And then Thursday this week, I have my first track day. So a lot of cool content coming up. The Laurel's making a return. Anthony's going to be on track again soon with his R32. There's a lot going on. We need to finish the Safiro. So yeah, stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching, and remember, the next video is the first official video where we're changing the YouTube channel to Stacked, so look out.